Saturdays at 4 on 23 NBC.
For television. Okay, folks, my next guest tonight has starred in the films Metropolitan, Barcelona, or Barcelona, and the Last Days of Disco. Starting next Wednesday, he can be seen on the brand new show, It's Like You Know. Let's take a look.
So where are you staying in L.A.?
With my friend Robbie. We were college roommates. Now he has more money than God.
How'd he get so rich?
He brought the Jewish High Holy Days home on pay-per-view television.
What?
He heard that it cost Jewish people $75 to attend Yom Kippur services, so Robbie, who's Lutheran, mind you, got the idea of charging $25 and letting people worship in the comfort of their own homes. He calls it pay-per-Jew.
Please welcome Chris Eigeman. My friend, how are you?
Good and well, you?
I'm good. I always remind you were on the night that Zsa Zsa was here, and she viciously attacked you.
Yeah, she kept attacking me.
Yeah, yeah.
She kept clawing at me because she was sitting
She doesn't have a claw.
And it was like, no, reaching out.
Yeah,
sorry.
okay,
claw
good.
Sounds bad.
Well, this will be a nice, sane evening for you. What have you been up to lately? How's it going?
I had a couple weeks off before I knew the show was going to premiere, so I thought I'd do my civic duty, and I went to jury duty.
Oh, that's
because I'd avoided it 4 or 5 times, and they actually said, you made me sign an affidavit that I would do it.
Right.
And have you done this? Have you done jury duty?
I've done jury duty, yeah.
It's sort of harrowing.
Well, I didn't get picked for a trial. They wouldn't pick me, but a certain odor problem. But they, but I had to go down and wait. Did you actually get on a trial?
Yeah, this was. I mean, it was really weird. I mean, you know, and obviously I thought it was a huge indictment against me as an actor. Like, if I can't even get myself out of jury duty, I have no business being on television.
Right.
You know, like,
did you get along with the other jurors?
Yeah. But you sort of think that what's going to happen is it'll fall into 2 camps. There'll be the guilty and the not guilty camp.
Right.
There's actually 3. There's the guilty, the not guilty, and the it's none of your business what I think camp.
Really? So there's that kind of open hostility?
You're like, oh my God, we're never going to get out of the room. We're going to be stuck in this room.
What do they think of you, like the other, the other jurors?
No one knew.
Did they know that you were an actor?
No, no one knew I was an actor. So, but one woman kept looking at me funny, like, and then about 2 or 3 days later into the whole thing, she was like, what do you do? Like, I'm an actor. It's like, you were in those movies. That's why I get annoyed every time I look at you. And I was like, oh my God.
I get that a lot, yeah. Well, you know what's funny, and don't take this the wrong way, but you do have, even when you're not trying to make a face or anything, you look a little annoyed. You just have an annoyed look.
It's exactly right.
You just like probably just sitting there, you look annoyed.
If my face is at rest, I look annoyed. And what happens is that people in sort of petty levels of authority, like customs inspectors or even like ticket writing people, they like exert their authority on me just because they can.
Because they get mad.
Well, because they're like, I need to teach you a lesson. Come here and empty your bag right here. I know you're not carrying any contraband, but just empty your bag because I need to teach you a lesson. Because you're a little smartass.
What about your family? Can they tell when you're annoyed and when you're just making your normal face?
You know, my little sister still gets the wrong signals. But yeah, I mean, you know, we're working through it. It's fine.
Just make a big smile. Kind of
happy, chatty guy.
Even when you smile, you look kind of like you're about to hit me.
Demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like you now.
I know. It's going so well, too.
Your wife works for CNN.
She's a journalist for CNN, yeah.
I would think that would be rough because that's a 24-hour day job, always searching for...
You always look for news. She always, like, my house is awash in magazines and newspapers from her trying to find stuff to
do. A
big scoop. And also, you know, she also covers things like air tragedies. So flying with her is just a nightmare. She has, like, every good luck charm known to man, like, on her body somewhere. So it's like getting on the airplane with a Christmas tree. And then she writes down, and this is the worst, she writes down the time the plane took off, who's flying the plane, who the navigator is, the first petty officer, so that if the plane goes down, she'll survive and be able to call CNN with all the information about...
And
you're sitting next to her and you're like, this is so uncomfortable. But it's good because, you know, the premise is that she would live. The idea is she'll survive the crash.
Well,
I
not
could
you,
be,
maybe,
I'll
yeah.
be chum, but
Yeah.
she'll survive the crash.
Well, let's mention this show, because the clips, we were looking at clips today, it looked very funny.
It's like you know.
It's about, you play a character who moves to L.A.
I know, I just go there to visit. I am a writer, a magazine writer who hates Los Angeles, so goes to write a book tentatively called Living in L.A., How Could You Stomach It? And I just plan to stay there for like 2 weeks.
And you end up, you don't like it, though.
Yeah, yeah, but
What's
LA,
one of the main reasons you don't like L.A.?
Well, there's a gajillion, but I think the main, I mean, for example, if there's a car chase, and this is true, it's like the whole city will watch the car chase. It's like a snow day for them. The entire city, lawyers, agents, everybody.
Do they cancel schools?
The schools, I assume,
watch?
are canceled. And we actually do an episode about this, where all we do is watch the car chase.
They're thrilling, though.
Apparently. I mean,
you don't watch them?
That's the thing. No, we have our own crime here that we can watch. You know, I don't know.
Right. Well, there aren't car chases. It's not the same thing here in New York, because you can't drive 5 feet without, being stopped at a light or
It would
something.
be a luxury to have the ability to have a high-speed car chase in Manhattan.
And what does the title would mean? It's like,
It's hard. The title is one of these things where before you see the show, it's just hard to wrap your mind around it. But after you see the show, it makes perfect sense, because it's to do with the sort of moral and intellectual laziness that is Southern California.
It's also the way girls at the mall talk.
Which is sort of the same thing.
Yeah, right. Chris, the show is called, I'm telling you, It's Like You Know. It premieres next Wednesday at 8:30 on ABC. That's when I've slotted it for.
Thank you.
Chris Eigeman, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for
Good to have
having
you.
me.
Chris Eigeman, everybody. Take a break. We'll be right back with Steve Earle and the Del McCoy Band. Stick around.